I'm out working on some gingers today. Come and join me. Hi, I'm Elise, and I'm glad that you stopped by. This is a pinecone ginger. And this is a pinecone ginger. And this is a pinecone from the pine tree. But I brought this out because look at this. You can certainly see why it got its name, pinecone ginger. That's neat. So let me talk just a little bit about these two varieties that share the same common name, pinecone ginger. Excuse me. I was talking to a friend online the other day, and he said he was kind of disappointed. He had ordered a pinecone ginger offline, and when it grew up and got to the blooming size, it was not the one he wanted. So we really have to be careful sometimes, and I know I've ordered the wrong thing before. It's easy. We can trust that the buyer is the seller is going to put as much information about the plant as possible and as many good photos as possible. And then we as buyers have the responsibility of looking at all that material and doing our own research. But it still happens. Okay, this is not a true ginger. It's called ginger, it's red button ginger, pinecone ginger, scarlet spiral ginger, flag ginger, and French kiss ginger. Not a true ginger. Why is it not a true ginger? It's in a completely different family. Now, I made some little data sheets to help, so I didn't have to try to remember all this. This is in the order Zingiberales, but then it splits. The family is Costacea, the genus is Costa, and the species is Costa woodisoni. Red button ginger, pinecone ginger, scarlet spiral, French kiss. I think it got its French kiss name. I'm guessing. Here is a bloom that fell off. And this bloom, I can hold it here, kind of just darts out between these bracts. And if you really used your imagination, it does look kind of like a tongue popping out or darting out from in between. So one of the things you can identify spiral ginger with is the leaf configuration. Now, like the name spiral ginger, the leaves go in a spiral down the stem. They are not alternate and they are not opposite. And sometimes when you're looking straight down at it, you can see it a little better. But they are spiraling down the stem. Okay, a true ginger. It's not really used for culinary purposes because it does not have the aromatic oils in it that true gingers do. Although there are some varieties of the Costas ginger that are used for medicinal applications. It is still a beautiful plant. It grows on rhizomes, it propagates on rhizomes, and it can get 4, 5, 6, 7 feet tall. This is just a young plant, but beautiful. So let's talk about this one just a minute. And you know, if you were looking at an isolated photo of this and an isolated photo of this, it might be very hard to tell the difference. This is a true ginger. This is in the order of Zingiberales, the same as the red button, but then it splits. The family is Zingiberaceae, and it's a Zingiber zerumbit. Shampoo ginger, bitter ginger, awapui ginger. And the reason it's called shampoo ginger is these beautiful bracts produce a liquid that you can use on your hair, on skin lotion, for skin lotions and stuff like that. Now these are past their prime. They no longer have the liquid in them, but it's still a beautiful ornamental plant, very tropical. And gingers are tropical. Let's see if this one's got any in it. No. Ooh, just a little bit. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It does have a little bit. Smells fantastic. Has a light gingery smell to it with maybe just a little back of pepper. but smells wonderful. It's not overpowering. So you can mix this liquid in with your shampoos. You can use it by itself. You can use it for a body lotion. Wonderful. And there's just gobs and gobs of information on the internet about shampoo ginger. It is considered a canoe plant for the Hawaiian Islands, because when the Hawaiians first came and settled what we now know as the Hawaiian Islands, they brought gingers with them, and they're in their big canoes, and that's why they're called canoe plants. So they really aren't native to Hawaii, but they've been grown there for so long that they've kind of been adopted. So that's the main difference in those two. Both beautiful ornamentals, tropical, easy to grow, easy to maintain, fairly disease, insect resistant. They like warmth, they like water, they like humidity. Not all day hot sun, but a few hours of sun, some bright indirect light, and they'll bloom all season except the dead of winter. I'm in Zone 9B, so we do not dig up our rhizomes and overwinter them. If you live in colder areas, you can grow these great plants, and then before your cold weather really sets in, after your leaves have died back, go ahead and dig your rhizomes up and store them, plant them out again in the spring. And these will die back. The foliage will die back, although I still got some new foliage coming out. So, wonderful plants. Common names are very, very helpful, but sometimes they can be confusing. So, we have a shampoo ginger and we have a red button ginger, both with the common name pinecone ginger. Wonderful. I love these things. They are so pretty in the landscape. If you're a sustainable gardener, this is something you might want. Gingers of all different types. Now, the ginger that we get at the grocery store for most of our culinary purposes, the officinale, you can grow that too from a hand of ginger from your store. But I want to show you just a couple of more things talking about common names. This is also called a ginger, tricolor ginger. It's not a ginger, but that's fine if you want to call it a ginger. It is in the same order, Zingiberalis, but then it splits it completely. Different family, genus, species, the whole 9 yards. This is also called triostar, tristar, tricolor, and prayer plant, and many other common names. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Got some new little sprouts coming. This is on the rhizome also. And here's another one. Look at this beauty. On its way out, but still really pretty. And this is called a ginger. A sapphire ginger, a blue ginger, and a false blue ginger. This isn't even in the same order. This is completely different, but it has the name ginger because of how the leaves look, and they are alternate, just like on the shampoo ginger's leaves are alternate. So this is the botanical or scientific information on this plant. Dichorasandra is the genus. I love the common name sapphire blue. I may start calling mine sapphire blue instead of false blue ginger. But neat. And we'll come back and we'll visit both of these plants at a later date. I just wanted to show you how common it is for these common names to just pick up physical characteristics of a plant, and then it's carried down through generations. Love it. Okay, so according to the University of Wisconsin, I can take some stem cuttings of this spiral ginger and propagate it that way. I'm certainly going to give it a try. I'll be coming back and repotting this. It certainly needs it. The roots are growing out, the pot's bowing out, bulging out on the sides. Since the bracts are now dying off, it's a good time to repot. And speaking of bracts, I saw someone talking online the other day that they didn't know if this was a fruit or a flower or what it was called. Well, it's not a fruit and it's not a flower. And this is what I've learned. So we have the stem, and the stem comes up and terminates in an inflorescence. And that inflorescence is made up of all these closely joined bracts. And inside those bracts are axials where the actual flower itself comes out, and it will just pop up. And the flowers are very short-lived, and they're very bitter tasting from what I've read, which is probably where one of the common names bitter ginger comes from. So isn't that neat? So they aren't fruits and they aren't flowers. They're called cones-a-lots, or they're just called bracts. So these beautiful red cones are dying off now. They're really normally sterile and will not produce seeds. It's very uncommon for them to produce seeds, but they propagate so easily via rhizomes. How's about that, folks? Isn't that neat? Pinecone gingers. I love them. Think about adding this to your garden. And until we speak again, have a fantastic day.